Hello everyone, Drew Wilson of Your Era Gamer here. Today we're going to be taking a trip back to the year of 2015, and that is when the PlayStation 4 game Battlefield Hardline was released. I believe this is the 15th installment of this series, though I am kind of counting some of the online games as well in that count, so that might throw some of the numbers off there. But anyway, I've got 10 minutes on the clock. Let's see what this game is about. So, for those of you who are paying like really close attention, have really good memories, I have finished playing Battlefield 4, and let's just say it wasn't that memorable of an experience to me. In fact, I don't even really remember much of it. To be perfectly honest. Um, Find bricks. And for those of you who are curious, this isn't exactly the absolute start of the game. I actually tried to record a first impression video earlier, and it was basically right when I got control, which is normally when I start an actual first impression video. But like half of it was like pure cinematic, driving around, that sort of thing. So it was really boring, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to take another crack at this and see if this game is just pure cinematics for the most part, or if that was just a really long intro. So I'm a little bit further ahead than you would expect for this. So so far there's a lot of really interesting changes in this game. Like, for instance, the fact that you're playing as police officers, that I find kind of interesting, because so many of these the Battlefield games, at least the ones I've played, it was all about, playing the role of a military person, being in the battlefield. Like Bad Company 1 and 2, you're in the middle of a battlefield, and there's other like more urban warfare style games like Battlefield 3 and I think 4 as well. Not that I remember much of it, but those were there. Yeah, so coming into this, I was thinking, okay, another kind of military type of game for all I know. And then I come into this, and you're playing the role of a police officer arresting people. So it was quite the interesting change, to say the least. So I don't know if I'm supposed to move in or something. Well, I'll move in. Flash your badge to freeze a suspect. Keep your weapon trained on the suspect to maintain control. If left uncovered, the suspect's alert meter will begin to fill. Okay.
Freeze! What the hell you want? Miami PD. Got some questions. Yo, detective, who's this?
He's my new partner, Briggs. We're here to play bad cop, worse cop.
Your friend Tap. Where is he? Man, fuck you.
Okay, let's jump right to worse cop. Nick, take him down.
R3. Hello. There we go. Not quite close enough. That's actually a little bit weird, because when you have that thing on like a little indicator on there, you would think you'd be able to take on that action, not necessarily judging am I close enough or not.
What, we're just gonna leave him there? You sure that's smart?
No, but I'm sure he tried to kill an undercover last year.
All right, so we're gonna.
Come on. Tap's couch is in the alcohol cabinet. You might not need that.
I suspect that is a really bad idea. Okay, circle is crouch.
We don't want them to know we're coming. Follow me.
Avoid detection. So stealth. Suspect arrest is indicated in 2 ways. An alert meter that fills as suspects become more dangerous. Visions. That kind of reminds me of Far Cry games, and I think Dishonored had that as well. So it's a
Stay back. Come on.
pretty standard idea by this point in time.
You're not gonna tell anyone we're doing this, right, partner?
Doing what, detective?
Attaboy. Okay.
Trespass. But it's America.
I got it.
Open gate.
Go on through.
Thank you kindly. Sorry about that clusterfuck comment, by the way. Sounds like it was a real mess.
It's a little bit on the dark side around here, but that's not surprising.
What's your read on Stoddard anyway?
Cross to vaults. Standard.
Started to pull. And the world
Circle the
just
crouch again. Yeah, there's something really unusual about this sort of thing to me. I don't know why. Mostly the leaving the suspect on the ground like that.
If anyone sees us, they'll tell them we're coming. We need to keep a low profile.
Well, I can't see a darn thing. Huh. Yeah, this has a very Far Cry feel to it, which is surprising for a police style video game.
Throw something to distract him.
And we're waiting for people to move. Very, very Far Cry style. I remember playing Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, and I did that a lot. But obviously, you're being basically playing the mercenary, not a police officer. Very interesting mix so far. So we're just waiting here. Throw distraction. Toss a shell casing to pull the attention of a criminal in the path in your path and remain undetected. Tossing a shell casing will draw the criminal's attention at a time. Throw distraction. Get a good arch.
Nice.
All right.
Sounded like something fell off the roof.
A lot of surprises in this game. Like, this does not feel like the Battlefield games I normally play. Distract, separate, take down. Tossing a shell case will draw one criminal's attention. Yeah, I think in other games you basically distract multiple people when you with a single distraction, most of the time.
Can you separate him?
Yeah, I got this.
Okay, that separates that person out. Then we sneak out. Take down 100. And take down. There we go. A little less violent than your standard Far Cry game at least. So there is that.
Our men should be through here.
How many bullet casings does a person carry anyway? That's what I want to know.
Evening, Tap. Don't run because I will chase you. We're looking for Tyson.
Very interesting. So I guess, surprisingly, that is it. So interesting. A lot of very interesting surprises in this game so far. Like a lot of stuff I was not expecting. Like, first of all, you're playing as police in a Battlefield game, which is not something I was expecting considering I basically played all the older games and kind of came into this not really knowing much. A lot of stealth stuff and and there's of course a lot of cinematics too. Like, I don't know, like this is a very different direction compared to what I'm used to at the very least. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this game plays out for me. Yeah, a lot of very interesting stuff to say the least. But enough about me and that sort of stuff. Like, I wanted to hear from you. What did you think of this game? Does this look like was this a really good game for you? Did you enjoy the really big change it made, or and change in tone, that sort of thing? Or did you maybe think this was way too different and maybe this wasn't the greatest game for you? Yeah, let us know. And if you haven't played this game and you played other games before this, I'll hit pause so I'm not distracted. If you haven't played this game but have played other games, what'd you think of what you saw here? Does this look like a very interesting direction this game took, or is this maybe something you may not particularly like about in this, like the direction this took, or maybe you actually thought this is a really cool and refreshing take on the Battlefield franchise? Yeah, for sure, let us know in the comments below on that one. And if you haven't played any of the games of the franchise at all, what'd you think of what you saw? Does this look like maybe something that would be of interest to you, or does this look like maybe this doesn't have like the right fit to what you like to play? Yeah, for sure, let us know in the comments below what you thought of what you saw and whether or not you'd be interested in playing something like this. So a lot of interesting surprises today in this video. It's interesting to say the least. So I guess that is all for now, and until next time, what is your era?